What we have here is a 69 C10 bedside. It's going to be a step side. It's just like one of those bad boys, except the had big fenders sticking out instead of a straight bed like that one back there. It had a cover on it, and all the screws are ate up that held these buttons on. So I need to pull those out and fill the holes, clean those up. Fill in a couple of holes on these pillars because they're going to do something different with the tail lights. I guess technically this is my first custom job. We're going to replace this, make this seam look more factory, as if the hinge was never there for the hook to go in when you close the tailgate. I came up with this little test piece the other day, and I'm going to try to see if we can't do something like this around this corner. So from the factory, this was all open, 90 degree here into a curve, and I kind of made a test piece the same way. And what my idea is, I'm going to attempt to continue the curve around. It's going to transition into a flat area right here, and where this used to be flat, I'm going to attempt to curve it to where it's going to marry up with the tailgate right here. So it's going to look something like this, hopefully, when I'm done. There's a little bit better look of what it looked like factory. So the tailgate closes, and you just had a hook and a chain hanging right here. So what I'm going to try to do is we're going to take this mechanism off. I'm going to bring the sheet metal straight down so this looks factory from here. And from right here, you can actually see frame rail just comes flat. So my intention is to curve this with the tailgate so that it ends up looking completely flush. It's gonna follow a body curve all the way around. And again, I'm gonna end up getting rid of the stake pocket. Where's my test piece? So I'm hoping to replace that with something like this. But since this already needs to be trimmed back in order for me to make this piece, so I'm going to cut about the first inch off the top of this, so it'll make it easier for me to get in here and do this work first, and then bring this one back over the top. It might be easier for me to make a whole new sheet. It just goes right in here and things out. So I realize it probably doesn't look like much now, but what I've done was cleaned off these rounded edges. I removed this exterior skin right here, and I cut out where there was holes, and that big bracket was welded all the way around. So I figured I would do more damage trying to cut that bracket off than just replacing the whole new piece, so I wouldn't have to fill in these welded holes. I spent all kind of money on this bad boy right here, but it's got some limitations, so I can only bend a sheet the length of my brake here. It's gonna end up being more than enough, but you can't be bending something that's hanging off to the side, because then you'll end up with like a buckle and a weird dent. So at the moment, I'm only able to work with, what is this, 8 inches. By the way, it is so much easier to have more than one grinder. You don't have to, but I think I got these at Harbor Freight on sale for like 15 bucks a piece. So spending that extra 15 bucks was so worth it to me to not have to cut something and then take the wheel off and put a crown disc on. I just pick up a different grinder and you're right. I'm not even gonna mark it. I mean, I'm just gonna break it right in half. So, show you how my High Dollar Eastwood vise works. In all seriousness, you don't need anything special. This is like a 1950s Wilton bullet vise, and these are a couple of pieces of plate. I think they're weld plates that, you know, when you have a metal building, these go down into concrete and you can weld your walls to the top of it. And all I did, I ground a little angle into the side of this one, just so if I ever need to go past 90, I'll be able to go just a little bit past 90. And I just clamp them in here. Keep it straight, about halfway. Lock her in. Now, got ourselves a 90. And right in there. Perfect. Just trim it out a little bit. She's gonna go right in there. can you guys see? Oh, you can't even see it. Sorry, my show you my camera crew. Look at this beauty right here. Once I get it figured all out, we'll make it a little better. Right now, I just want you guys to see the work, I guess. Oh man, so close. All right, let's get a close up of this. Check that out. Just a little bit more tweaking and trimming. I am going to have a little gap right there, but I'm pretty sure I can fill it in and make it look okay. But now, instead of having that section right here where the tailgate went into, I'm gonna attempt to make it look completely factory all the way up. Before we trimmed any more off, I want to make sure this mating surface was right. So you see it this way. But this way, this gap was a lot smaller because, let's see, find a little pointer here. This ridge was dented in and this was bowed way out. This still isn't perfect, but it's good enough for me to, let's see if I can find, you want these mating edges right here to be straight so that I can put my 90 in like that. And then when we come across the top, it's going to give a lot more strength because I'm going to be getting rid of this pocket right here. So then this is going to meet up here and fold in with it.
The rest all we do it from metal, and I just like to get in there and make sure it can't go further, so that there's no help from the factory. I might be able to get in here later.
Let it dry for a few minutes. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and back out of this. Anyway, let's go that down. Just something to help with rust in the future. Because this is going to be facing inside here. So I'll let this dry. We'll clean it up where I'm going to tack again. And we'll get it in there. Sorry guys, I was just going to town when I realized I wasn't recording. So I got a few little gaps in here, but I got it tacked in, so I'm just gonna get this all welded up. We'll clean it back down and see what she looks like. Well, folks, my test is if you can't hardly tell where it was repaired, then you did an all right job. I see a little something. It's hard to tell because from the factory, this curved up and met that roll. And I might have got it a little too hot right there. But now, that's what the new one's going to look like. All right, so now that we got this done, we need to think about the back. So this is what the backside looks like. See, what I'm telling you is this that I cut off, I'll replace this as well. But we need to start thinking about that this is going to end up getting rounded over right here to match the tail. See, clean those welds up, bring this back another 1/4 of an inch. We could trim this out a little better, or maybe trim it down on this side. She's gonna go in right there. And then we'll trim it off here, and it'll look like this was a factory piece. Alright guys, it was getting kind of dark last night, so this is the next day. Here's the next problem we're running into. The edge that I've made here is too sharp to match this factory edge here. So I got an idea to bring that edge out. There's probably going to be similar edges that I'm going to need to remake, so it'll be good to have a kind of a permanent solution. If you look here, this is just 2 steel weld plates from like a metal building. And in order to break past 90, I shaved off one of the edges here. Let me see. That is. Right now I currently have it at pretty close to a 90, but you can see that I can bend it down more to bring it past 90. That was important for these right here, because if you look, these come off at an angle, so it was important for me to be able to bend past 90 when I made those. But now this 90 has too sharp of an edge, so I have extra plates, and I'm gonna round one off. I'm gonna round a corner off to try to match this factory curve, so we can finish making our piece right here. Now what we got is just the slightest curve. All right, so now what we've done is we were able to take this fairly sharp 90 and turn it into something slightly more rounded over, so that it would match this curve right here a little better. All I've done here was I trimmed this back further so that we can clean these welds up from the repair on the other side. And then our new weld will be offset from that, give it a little bit more strength. I guess I should probably show y'all what it looks like before it gets ground down. So it does not look pretty, but it is solid. Because you can't just run a bead on sheet metal. You got to tack it all the way in. All right. This is certainly not my best work, but we got those holes filled. We got that big plate removed. I'm going to end up doing some more work here, so I'm going to clean up this weld a little bit better once I can get inside there. And we got, now the back side's done. Not my best work, like I said. If you look right here, that's really kind of hard to see. There you go. So you can just barely see some of the weld with a little divot around the weld where the metal may have shrank a little bit. That's going to get filled in with the body filler. Same thing right there. You can see it better there. Well, but I mean, it's going to get body work done to it. The general shape's there. It's nice and clean. It's nice and straight. We are getting somewhere. Oh, so you can see this is actually still separated. So this entire sheet, this was one entire sheet of metal. And then this section was actually spot welded on here. So once I get this lined up real nice, I'll put a couple of spot welds in here like it would have come from the factory. Oh, and I need to trim this off just a hair to make it match this distance right here. See? And that's where I just made my, it's easier to make a bend with it long, and then you trim it to fit, so it starts getting wide right about where I made my patch. So I'm just going to need to trim this off, and then it'll be, I guess, technically custom, but it'll look like it came from the factory. Well, all right. So this is the tray. I still got a little bit of cleaning to do, but I got like 10 minutes to go get the babies from school. So we got this plane, we got this plane. Then we have the channel where the tailgate's gonna sit. And then, let's see. And we're gonna have a little bit more curve come up this way. And then it's gonna start rounding out this way. Almost done. Okay, I got not a new idea. It's just an alteration. So I'm getting to the point where I need to finally make this curve that I want here. All right, and I was going to make it solid like I have this joint right here made, and it's gonna keep falling out, and my intention was to kind of make it solid and connect it right here and then come around with the curve. But I have a different idea now, where instead of making it solid where it's gonna look like this, I'm gonna overlap it so that it's an identical copy of the tailgate. So you can see that's a roll that's actually folded over and spot welded in. I think it would look so much better if I mimic that on the truck bed. So you'll actually have this body line that continues with the curve, and this overlapped and spot welded handle within that. I found this piece of really thick fence post, and it seems to be closer to the side. So I'm going to bend a piece just so I'll have my curve about this long, and that'll give me section enough to add it in here, and I'll probably have to make some pie cuts or something to get that to go the rest of the way around. So first, we need to make a piece. Pretty close. It's not perfect, but it's close enough for me to start working on this. All right, I got this bent to match the top rail on the, or the side rail on the truck. So now I'm going to take the same radius of the side rail, and we're coming around, and we're going to put it across the back like this. Oh, it's going to suck to be one-handed. All right, so if you look, this rail's here, so I got this much room to work with. I need to keep this line coming straight back, and I also want to keep it flush going straight up. And then it's just going to be a nice simple sweep and turn right there. But what I need to do with this piece is it's actually going to go on the outside of this. So from about right here, I need to start straightening it out. So it's going to be straight. Okay. Now, what I need to do is kind of straighten it out from here and make a transition this way. So I need to straighten back out. I need to make a 90 from here to here with this corner. And then kind of make a smooth transition from here to here, because this is going to end up getting rounded off like this. So right now I need to turn this into a giant 90. Okay, so we are almost there. This is the tailgate sitting in place. And you can see from the factory, it just kind of cut off like right here. And this, it basically looked exactly like this, except further out. So we're almost there. This is what I want. I want this to sit flush with this plane. This, and I want this to overlap the front and match the tailgate right there. So you can see I basically need to trim some stuff out of the way. Oh yeah, I think that's the right call. All right. Check this out. So we got to get it pretty even with the top, just because I'm, kind of doing some guesswork here. And then we have this notch cut in to almost completely mirror the tailgate. So then this will end up starting to curve in and work out to the roll in the corner. I like it. Alright, I'm gonna try to finish this today before it starts raining. Just gonna cut this a little bit more down to size. Alright. Over the past couple of days, we had some pretty bad weather, some rain. My shop fell down. I got on the phone with the insurance. We were able to rebuild pretty quick. But also, I don't know if I mentioned that I'm new and I don't know what to do. But I had some video difficulties, recording difficulties. I'm not real sure what you want to call it. But we got that sorted out too. The only thing left here is to finish this corner out. Got everything lined up across the top and the bottom, and we got our shape matching. I don't know what the best course of action here is, but with what I have available, I'm going to attempt to pie cut the section that came off here, and I'm just going to put slices in here. It's going to kind of look like an orange, and we're going to smooth it out. That's the best I can come up with right now, so I'm just going to get at it so we can get this thing done. All right, folks. I know that that looks like straight garbage, but I'm going to smooth some of those tops off and then just start slowly tacking it to fill it in, and we'll see what happens. And absolute worst case scenario, maybe best case scenario, I actually figure out how to bend a piece like this and just put a cap in. But worst case scenario, I don't like it, and I just cut it back out and start over. No big deal, right? Well, that's the start of something. If I'm being honest, this was the part that I've been worried about the whole time. Bending a flat, making bends and putting flat wheels together is fine, but I have no clue what I'm doing. So this scares the crap out of me. All right, I'm gonna seal this up, clean it off, and we'll see what it looks like. So my phone died, my recording device died. When I was trying to clean this up, so the only thing you guys have missed is just cleaning these welds up a little bit. It is almost done. I just want to go through and hit a few pinholes and just do a cleanup, and we. Good enough for government work. All right. All right. Tell me what y'all think. Now, it's not 100% perfect. There's some heat affected zones right there, but that can also be cleaned up from the bottom, and this is going to get filler over it. But, I can do better next time. I still got to make another one. But there she is. Get one look with the tailgate on. There we go. All right. One of a kind. Custom, we'll call it bed rail ends. Major point here is that I really wanted to, I've said it 100 times, I really wanted this curve to match the tailgate. And then in the middle of this, I decided that I wanted this line to match up. So the whole idea is this is a completely one-of-a-kind custom piece, but it looks like it came from the factory. Or at least I think so. You tell me what you think. Before I end this video, I know I mentioned it before, but I am a beginner or an amateur or whichever one has the least experience. I have maybe, if you added it all up, 3 weeks of welding experience. Everything is 100% self-taught, from making mistakes, trying to clean up, trying to watch the metal, and learning from YouTube. The premise of my idea for these videos is almost everything I learned was from YouTube. And I feel like if I can learn it by watching a video and coming out here and trying it out, that you can too. So again, I want to give a shout out to the people that make my favorite videos. Specifically, for starters here, my favorite is Fitzy's Fabrication. He does all sorts of rust repair, and he explains, how easy it is to break it down piece by piece, and you don't need thousands and thousands of dollars of tools. You just get out here, you bend it up, you clean it up, you weld it up, and it can look like this. So thank you, Tony, and thank you guys for watching. Thanks for seeing the first episode of Metland Fab. There will be more to come.